Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be fixing a problem with the central locking mechanism in this car, which is a 1988 Porsche 911. And let me just, here on the driver's side, you see the door is currently unlocked. Open it up. But then if I try to lock it, let's say I'm parking, we'll turn the key. Let's see. You hear the locks engage, and in fact the passenger side is just locked up, but as you see here, this door is still unlocked. And I can open it up, and then if I want to, if it's locked, if I lock it from inside, and I come to my car and I want to unlock it, turn the key, the locks open on the other side, but here it's still locked. I think what's the problem is that there's something just mechanical in the latching mechanism. I would imagine there's probably some plastic bit there that broke and be a part that I have to replace. So I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but I'm going to investigate in this video by removing the door panel and then taking a gander inside and seeing what we have to do there. Okay, the first step is to remove this piece on the top here, and that will involve removing the screw, which removes just sort of this plate here. And this removes a plate, revealing two screws. The second one. Screw and a washer. All right, this little piece flew off, and of course, this is typical in my work in the garage, little springs and little plastic pieces. They're never found right on the floor immediately around. They flew somewhere in the garage, and so I'm gonna have to, before I do anything else, I'm gonna have to track that little thing down before I remove this panel. And then will be interesting to see where it is, if it ever shows up. Okay folks, in this little hole here there's a tiny Phillips screw. That little plastic stop, I have no idea where it went. I've swept the entire floor of the garage. Can't find it anywhere. It's typical of these things. They just, once they hit the floor, they're gone. Small Phillips screwdriver. I have to disconnect the switch for the rear view mirror right there. All right, next thing is to remove this, and there's also another little cap that we have to pry off. Hopefully we won't lose this one. There we go, and I didn't lose it. This is fucking metal. Okay, there's a Phillips screw there. And you remove this by turning this thing counterclockwise, unscrewing it. We're going to remove this door pocket here. So 1, 2, on the bottom, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's find them on the car. So back right there on the carpet. That guy, and then underneath There should be 3 of them. There's the first one. There's another one. Okay, underneath the door. It's the first screw right there. Let's get a close-up. Number 5. Okay, the next step, this door handle, we're going to disconnect the actuating mechanism. This is how you open the door with this handle, like that. And there you see this our actuator. So what we want to do is want to pry that off. Hopefully you saw that. Okay, the next step is to remove this handle here. And to remove it, there are 4 5mm Allen key bolts, 2 up at the top. Those are easy to get to. And then down here at the bottom, they're deep inside. Now these present somewhat of a problem because I can't get a sort of a ratchet in there because it's too. The only way I can get these is with my sort of little Allen key, which should be right in front of. There we go, right there. But we can only use the long side to go in to get these, and therefore I don't think I'm going to have enough leverage. So what I'm going to have to do is put a wrench on the bottom of it to give me enough leverage to turn that. Okay, remove these 2 screws to hold the map pocket door. These should have come off earlier. Okay, next we remove these. We just pull out these 2 window switches. And then I have to take account of the wires here. Okay, push out these window switches, just gently tugging on them so that the wires come out. And before plucking out all these connectors, I have to label them very carefully so that they go back, each one goes in the right place. And the way I've done that, and I'm going to label them by coming around here. There's basically a pin, a single vertical pin on the top. I've arbitrarily named that 1, 2 horizontal pins, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all just put a piece of tape on each of these wires with 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and that will enable me to connect them properly when I'm done. Okay, there are my wires labeled with these little tags. There are my two switches. Okay, now we have to remove this door panel, and there's some clips on the top. It's all ready to come out, but there are some clips on the side. One has to be very careful because the door panel, I think, is probably a cardboard material, and if you yank it out, you might, instead of pulling the plastic plugs out from the door, actually damage the thing. So you have to be very careful. Okay, the last bit is the, I should have removed the speaker, but I'll just disconnect these two wires here. The all-important sort of plastic liner, it looks in pretty decent shape, so it doesn't look like a lot of water got in here, which is good. So yeah, let me pull this out and see what the condition of it is. Folks, this is the back side of my door panel, and you can see it's in pretty good shape. If that inner seal gets broken, water can get in and sort of rot out the cardboard. The cardboard is actually in really good shape. I'm glad to see that. Okay, there you see the door lock mechanism, and then at the top, the camera sees. This is a case where the camera sees more than I do. You see this rod here. There it goes down. There it goes up. Here we are in the back of the door. This is what has come loose, and so I have to determine which part. Maybe it just snaps back on, or maybe I have to buy a new part. Let's look a little more closely. This is the it's a little sort of ball and socket mechanism, and as you can see, this is the plastic ball part, and that's cracked. There's the crack right along the side there. So obviously that plastic bit, I suspected that the problem was plastic. But anyway, that's why my door doesn't work. There it is. See the ball and the sort of ball there. That'll just snap on. So what I have to do is, going back to this, unscrew this and just buy that little part. If I can source it, I'll be in business. All right, guys, my shipment with my parts that I ordered finally came in after 10 days. This comes from, I buy my Porsche parts from Pelican Parts, which is actually very good. They have a great forum, and partially to support the forum, I buy my parts there. And really, it's basically what I have here is the replacement part that I will install. The original part is steel, and it had sort of a plastic end at the end, which had this sort of socket, and the plastic had broken. Now, you know, the problem, you could say, with the part, the reason why we're even doing this is because of plastic, and now we find that the whole darn part is now plastic. But anyway, it wasn't particularly expensive. I think it was about $5, and it shouldn't break, at least for a great many years. And I also was able to find, remember the little cap that sort of flew off and out into wherever, it just flew away and was just lost in the garage, and that was easy. You know, I think it's like $2. So I'm just glad that was even available. But here's the part that broke. It's a sort of plastic socket part, which screws into this arm here. And again, my replacement part, this whole thing is one single piece, one single plastic piece. There it is. There we go. So what we have to do is, you see the little there where my finger's pointing, we have to disconnect that. And the way we do that, I think, is going to be, we just have to unscrew the motor, and then that will lift up. If we can lift it up, then we can sort of access it from this sort of hole in the door panel. So we will unscrew these two. These are two 8mm hex nuts, so we'll remove those. That will just slide right up. You see there's the solenoid, and I have nice access to the mechanism here. I'll just pull this off. Pulls right off. Make sure that this is the right orientation. Will be here, so this one will have to be, it will go in this direction if I'm correct. Pin goes in, and then just this clip. So there it is. Couldn't be easier. There's that ball. See see where my finger's pointing? Okay, folks, so this was a very simple fix. There's the doors unlocked. Put the key in, turn the key, locked, unlock, unlock. So, all good. Now all we have to do is put everything back together, and the first step is to put on the vapor barrier around the window before putting on the inner door card. And what I've done is I've reattached the old one, and I don't think I'm going to reuse this. It's all sort of ripped up, but this will provide a template for me to cut out the new one, and it has conveniently, it will have sort of the various holes where the various sort of protrusions come out of. Okay guys, you can see here that I've cut out a piece of my new material, and I have sort of taped over it the old material, which is sort of my template. And I've just sort of taped it up to get a general sense of where it goes. And I've cut it kind of crudely, but so it's bigger. And then I can always trim the excess off after I've sort of glued it on. So what I think I will do is sort of remove this. Then I will sort of try to attach. This material has a sticky side, and it has sort of backing paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the backing paper, attach the first half or the first third, and then I will attach that, make sure that's positioned properly, and then I'll do the second half after that. Okay, the next step is to clean all of this, sort of the glue from the previously used to attach the vapor barrier. All right, what I'm using to attach the vapor barrier is this stuff, 3M strip caulk, which I've been told is actually a good thing to use but what it allows you to do is it doesn't sort of it remains sticky. So you can remove the vapor barrier. It provides a waterproof seal, but it's also something that you can remove the vapor barrier fairly easy. It doesn't dry completely. It comes in these strips, and what I'll do is it's kind of like Play-Doh. It's very sticky. I'll apply it on one side. When I'm done applying it, then I will remove the backing of my vapor barrier here and attach it. And hopefully I can do that without, make it nice and smooth. Where I'm going to apply it are on all of the raised surfaces on the door. So across the top, obviously along here, all the way down here, and also around some of these holes here, which is also a raised surface. So wherever it's a raised surface, I'll put a bead of this stuff. But the key thing is on the tops here. Maybe I'll come down here a little bit, although that might be overkill. And then up here, again, up around here, try not to, being careful not to let it get into the threads of these holes here, and then go all the way down. What I'll do is I'll do it in halves. I'm going to do the first half of the door. So I'll put the bead down to here, and I'll stop. And I'll do the bottom half later, after I apply the top half. Then I'll know exactly where everything is. Okay guys, you can see here the vapor barrier that I put up, and here's the edge of it. It's sort of glued down onto the metal, and then the putty is sort of giving a sort of a watertight seal all the way around, all the way down here on the whole edge of it. And what I have to do now is I simply have to cut away this opening where the speaker will go in, as well as these various holes. These holes will need to, so what I'll do is I'll just get my utility knife and just sort of pop those out. One, there's one. The one there, the one there. Here's where one of the plastic clips goes in, and here's where the other plastic. Okay guys, if you ever do this, take apart doors, do not remove this sort of door pocket door from the pocket, because basically what it has is that a couple of these screws here, but they tie into rivets on the bottom. So on the other side, they are these, where are we at? They're these sort of rivet things, and there's nothing to grip onto. What I had to do is use a pair of pliers, and they're very, very difficult to tighten, obviously, right? Because there's no slot there to put a screwdriver in or a surface to put a wrench on. And this one I actually had to sort of improvise and take a piece of red plastic that I had lying around, because otherwise it's sort of a washer, so it wouldn't go through the cardboard, and yet was thin enough, because these rivet screw things have very little length to them, so it barely fits through. So even though they're very hard to tighten, my door hinge is nice and firm, actually firmer than it was before. Okay, you see these tabs here? We want to line them up with I think I'll have to do that with two hands. Yeah, see there? Pop that one in. I'll snap those in. There we go. Nice snap. All right. So I'm going to do two more things. One, I'm going to put the switches in, and two, I'm going to attach the knob there. Like that. All right. That door works. Now one's going down, goes up. A little slow on the up, but that seems to work. Last thing we'll do today is we'll just tighten up these bolts here. The armrest and the lower bolt. And finally, attaching this thing,